The more we heal ourselves, connect to nature, raise our vibration from fear based to love and authenticity, the harder it gets to live in this current society. This is what I want to talk about today. I have been searching or working on how to put together this new episode, and I didn't know where to start. And then it all came to me in the middle of the night. I woke up and I couldn't fall asleep again, and I just started writing. So, this is what I'm going to read to you, a bit of a context of my journey for the last 10 years, actually, and how I do it, which is essentially what this podcast is about, is sharing my journey on how I do it. How do I navigate this world, knowing what I know, experiences what I've experienced, and still feeling part of this world, you know? I'm still working on it, but I don't see a lot of example on I was like, how do people do it? I don't know. And because I don't have those examples, I'm just sharing my story, and maybe some of you can relate and or tell me how they do it. And together we can keep growing and yeah, evolve. So I'm just going to read what I wrote. There's a B there. Yeah. I quit my corporate job in 2015, and soon after, I left for India, where I started a 12 months initiation journey. I never felt more alive than then. The solo traveling experience I was used to was amplified. The connection to strangers, the land, and its spirits were creating beautiful relationships. But then I ran out of saving. It was time to get back into the, how I call it, inauthentic, fear based society that we have been groomed to live with. For 4 years, I would oscillate between season work in France and training in India. My consumerism would drop drastically. My awareness of my emotional response will rise. My tolerance to fake mainstream news and world propaganda will reach a point of no return. I got bullied for being happy at work, for making the most of my day, for not drinking alcohol or eating crap processed food. What was going on? When did being healthy, self aware, and in love with life become a bad thing? So I moved around, detached from people, and went even more within. India was my refuge, as chaotic and polluted as it is. It was also the land of initiation into my embodied spirituality. Intuition was sharp, manifestation instantaneous, hidden fears and trauma revealed, unconditional love experienced. It was now time to tackle all that, understand it, heal what needed light, and do something about it all. I had experienced a completely different way to feel, live, love, and could never go back to the traditional conditioning way of living. Years passed, the lockdown happened. Like everyone else, I am being asked to pause, to reflect. I was then in Australia. Guided, supported by spirit, I just did that. More healing, more educating myself, human design, Joe Dispenza, Jinky, quantum physics, you name it. I was absorbing knowledge and practicing all day, every day, gaining even more awareness to the hidden truths and human conditions. And then something shifted. I got a car, ultimum freedom, and left once again the temporary comfort zone that I have created for myself. I find myself in a small town on the north coast of New South Wales, Australia, settling down, getting work, and being part of a local community. The world still runs on money, visas, and taxes, so until this changes, I had to live with it. How do you navigate the current world once you experienced God's grace, lived the talk, and have experience and have awareness of what is going on? This has been my journey and experiments for the last few years. I am still figuring it out. I also feel ready to share it and continue to expand with you all. The short answer is that it is possible, and many are already living it. Now, do we all have to become influencers, live in Bali, or buy land in Costa Rica? I don't believe so. The earth is our home. It requires cares and humble custodians in all places. We still need bakers, farmers, builders, etc., just conscious ones. In the meantime, I personally navigate between two worlds. I left the processed junk food, alcohol based reward and guilt frame of reference. I work for a small construction company 4 days a week and work on myself and recenter the rest of the time. I work on enjoying life from the heart out, even while at work. Getting back into an office was harder than finding myself alone at night in India with a hotel reservation cancelled. That's true story. I had to deal with the emotion of others, egos, and unresolved trauma from everyone, and including myself. While getting back to the world in the matrix was hard, it also allowed me to ground myself, to grow roots in one spot for a while. It allowed me to build relationship with colleagues, local shop, and new friends. It allows me to laugh at silly things, get angry, get triggered, learn to take things less personally. This is a big one for me. It is also challenging. Falling back into the business, godless, hyper material environment is an easy trap, even if your heart is here to remind you to find balance. So, how do I do it? I walk on the beach most days after work. I surf once a week, sometimes on work days. I create a flexible work hours for myself. I can go for a surf or swim in the middle of a work day. I just stay longer at night or come earlier in the morning. And I do it when it's possible. I meditate and pray most days before and after work. I make sure to be barefoot in nature every day. I navigate through the craving of needing a glass of wine after a shitty day at work by going dancing on the beach or doing tapping. tapping. I go away camping in my car on a regular basis because this is what makes me happy. So, in short, find what makes you happy and do it often. Connect to nature alone. Swim in the ocean. Move to a small town. Ask yourself, how can you be of service to others? Set healthy boundaries. Find authentic relationships. Reduce the use of chemical, cheap food, and sugary drinks. Exercise. Heal, forgive, and move on. Until the next crisis, until the next breakthrough, live in the moment, connect to your heart, and do not compromise your health for anything or anybody. That was it for today. I'll develop those last few points in the next few episodes. Okay, take care. Peace.